once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship. As an artist, as a human being, she's a special individual. And it's just, I'm just grateful for it. I thank God, and yes, we are good. Marriage is something that if I were to get married, then Jennifer is the person.
Oh, she the prototype?
She is but she's not only the prototype, she is the person.
Yeah.
But that.
Okay, you don't want a ring, you want an apartment complex.
I'd give you a duplex, an eightplex or something.
Welcome back to StarHush, the spot where the whispers turn into headlines and the drama never sleeps. And today, the tea is boiling over. Because the streets are buzzing that Common might have just been caught slipping on Jennifer Hudson, and Tiffany Haddish is somewhere in the cut, smirking like she just hit the jackpot. Now everybody knows Tiffany has been salty ever since Common moved on from her to start cozying up with J. Hud. And if you think she was gonna let that slide forever, think again. She's been waiting for her moment, and by the looks of it, she might finally be getting it. The word on the block is that Jennifer Hudson might have been ignoring all the warning signs about Common. And there were plenty. His relationship history isn't exactly a secret. High-profile flings, whirlwind romances, and endings that come faster than a trending tweet. Still, fans really believed J. Hud could be the one to finally settle him down. They pictured the wedding bells, the quiet life, maybe even a whole new family vibe. But now, that fantasy's looking shaky, real shaky. The gossip mill is on fire with claims that Common has been stepping out, not just a little maybe either, but allegedly heavy. Word is Jennifer is crushed, and the timing couldn't be messier. This man was just telling the world how much he adored her, calling her the one, and even hinting at marriage in interviews. And here's where it gets spicier, because guess who's allegedly having the time of her life watching all this unfold? Tiffany Haddish. Yep, the same Tiffany who once held that girlfriend title is now playing the role of sideline commentator, dropping shade so slick you might miss it if you blink. From cryptic posts to laughing along when people bring up Jennifer's situation, Tiffany's making sure folks know she is unbothered, maybe even enjoying the chaos.
Jenny Jen still kicking it. That's part one. And part two is, do you ever see yourself married one day?
So as far as Jenny Jen,
I love Jenny.
Absolutely, we are together, and I just appreciate her as a partner, as a woman, as an artist, as a human being. She's a special individual, man, it's just, I'm just grateful for it. I thank God, and yes, we are good. Marriage is something that if I were to get married, then Jennifer is the person.
Oh, she the prototype?
She is but she's not only the prototype, she is the person.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's one of those things where I'm like always looking at my life and saying, okay, because that's a strong choice to make,
Absolutely.
And
not to be taken like.
But listen, turns out the whole time Common was out here smiling in interviews and calling Jennifer Hudson the one, the streets say he might have been moving real reckless behind the scenes. Like, real reckless. Word is, this wasn't some quiet little mistake either. People are whispering he's been popping up with different women all over town. And while a lot of folks feel bad for J. Hud, you know who's absolutely not losing any sleep over it? Tiffany Haddish. If anything, she might be enjoying the mess a little too much. An anonymous source close to the situation spilled that Tiffany has been loving every minute of this alleged cheating scandal playing out in public. And honestly, if you've been watching her moves since she and Common split, that shouldn't surprise you one bit. Tiffany has never really hidden her feelings about him, or the fact that she thinks their breakup had some shady overlaps. Over the years, she's tossed out sly comments and low-key jabs, and a few of them sure made it seem like she believed Common was already getting cozy with Jennifer before he and Tiffany were officially done. One moment that really had people raising eyebrows happened during an Instagram Live. A fan mentioned they'd once given Common a pair of earrings to pass along to her, then asked if she ever got them. Tiffany didn't even pause. She shot back with a salty little laugh and said something along the lines of, "Please, he probably gave those to Jennifer Hudson." You could see it in her face. This wasn't just playful banter. That comment came with years of side-eye built in. Fans immediately clipped it, reposted it, and the video started circulating with captions like "Tiffany's still in her feelings and she knew before we did."
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer.
But let's be real. I need to know in the comments, do you actually think Jennifer Hudson was already spending time with Common while he was still with Tiffany? Because if that's the case, it would suddenly make every single one of Tiffany's slick comments and shady moments over the past few years click into place. It would also explain why she seems to be enjoying every single second of these cheating rumors swirling around now. For Tiffany, this might feel like karma finally spinning the block. She's probably thinking, oh, so now you see what I was talking about. And while a lot of fans think Tiffany's just watching from the sidelines, others are convinced this might actually be the perfect window for her to slide right back in. She's been open, both in interviews and in little side comments, about the fact that she still has a soft spot for him. And if the whispers are true about a side situation, that wouldn't necessarily scare her off. If anything, she might see it as her chance to reclaim the spotlight. People online are already joking that if Common so much as texts her, Tiffany would be like, well, come here, baby, well, let's talk. Because when she first started dating him, it was clear to just about everyone watching that she was way more emotionally locked in than he was. She's the one who made the relationship public during the pandemic, going out of her way to show him off. They even quarantined together. And she wasn't shy about letting everyone know it. One of the most talked about moments came when she went live on Instagram with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. Tiffany made sure her camera angle was tilted just right so the audience could get a clear view of Common in the background, looking like her prize trophy. That wasn't an accident. That was a statement.
Talk about the other tea a little later.
Yeah.
What?
You not got it?
You get cut off and you motherfuckers brought the tea.
Like I said, Tiffany was all in from day one, way more invested in that relationship than Common ever seemed to be. She couldn't stop hyping him up in interviews, gushing over how much she cared and how she wanted to make special memories together. When her birthday was coming up, she was already out here planning the dream date in her head. And she wasn't shy about telling the world what she wanted. In one interview, Tiffany laid it all out, almost like she was manifesting it. She said, I'm just hoping me and my man, we go hot air ballooning and have us a nice little meal. That's what I like to do. On my 39th birthday, I got drunk with my grandma. Never done that before. My 40th birthday, I had a bat mitzvah. That was super fun. This birthday, 41, I wanted to go up in a hot air balloon. You could tell she really thought this was going to be the year he went all out for her, but when the big day came, nothing close to that happened. Forget hot air balloons. Common didn't plan any elaborate date, any surprise getaway, not even a fancy dinner. Sources close to the situation claim the only thing she got from him was a bouquet of flowers. And honestly, flowers are sweet. But for your partner's birthday, that's the absolute baseline of effort. And here's the thing, Tiffany wasn't just hinting about a nice date. She had been open for months that she wanted him to make a major move in their relationship. She literally admitted she was hoping for a proposal, but her twist on it was unique. Instead of a traditional diamond ring, she joked that she'd rather he surprise her with an apartment building, something she could actually invest in and grow from.
If you want to marry me, he can give me an apartment building.
That would be, you don't want a ring, you want an apartment complex.
I'd give me a duplex, an eightplex or something. You know, the homegirls be like, where your ring? I thought you was engaged. Where your ring? Where your carrots? Carrots. Girl, please, I got units.
She went into that relationship with sky-high hopes, thinking this could be the one, the man who would match her energy, her loyalty, and her vision for the future. But if you're wondering how Common reacted to all that, well, his actions pretty much spelled it out without him even having to say a word. It was like he stamped temporary across the whole thing from day one. Every time Tiffany dropped hints about building a life together, from that hot air balloon fantasy to the apartment building proposal idea, Common would just smile, nod, and keep it moving. There were no follow-ups, no real conversations about taking that next step. Instead, he played it cool. Almost too cool, like he was just there for the fun and not the forever.
Do what's good for me and the lady. You know, right now all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
So when the split finally happened just a couple months later, it wasn't exactly shocking to anyone paying attention. The writing had been on the wall for a while, and fans didn't hold back. A lot of people were relieved Tiffany was finally free from Common's hold, because let's be real, he had her wrapped around his finger the entire time. She was putting in way more energy than she was getting back, and everybody could see it except her. But here's the twist that had folks talking. Common was the one who ended things. Yep, the man who never seemed fully invested was the one who pulled the plug. And instead of just owning it, he went the classic PR route and tried to soften the blow, telling the media it all came down to their busy schedules.
We both have professions. Well, I think once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship. And as you said, neither one of us is gonna stop. Like we both care about our crafts and what we do. And we care about love too and partnership. But I think, the energy that has been put into our careers and continuing to want to do the things that we do for ourselves and for the people, it's like, it was hard for me to balance all of that and keep the relationship.
Tiffany wasn't about to just let Common slide with that busy schedules excuse. Oh no, she had her own truth to tell. In one interview, she threw shade so smooth it almost sounded polite, saying he might be the type of person who never really settles down with anybody. Maybe he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish nothing but joy and happiness. Now, she didn't flat out accuse him of cheating, but let's be real, she didn't have to. That bee comment alone had fans reading between the lines, wondering if she was hinting that he stepped out on her. And when he popped up with Jennifer Hudson not long after, Tiffany was back at it again, speaking in a way that sounded sweet but landed sharp. She called their romance the healthiest, the funnest relationship I ever had, and said it was the place she felt the safest. But then she hit the kicker. The breakup wasn't mutual. According to her, Common straight up told her, "I think this relationship is running its course." And she just replied, "Okay, like you're gonna be a 50-year-old single man, okay?" Ouch. Now, she's watching Jennifer go through the same motions, and it's giving major deja vu vibes. And here's the thing, Tiffany and J. Hud are far from the only ones who've been in this cycle with him. Common's romantic resume is stacked with high-profile names, and the pattern is almost identical every time. Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Erykah Badu, Angela Rye, the list goes on. He starts off charming, the connection seems deep, the woman starts to really invest, and then boom, he hits them with the "this isn't working" speech and moves right along to his next leading lady. One of the most talked about chapters in this saga, his relationship with Erykah Badu. Back in 2000, the two were considered one of music's it couples. They were together for about 2 years, and by late 2002, it was over. Common wasted no time sharing his version of the split, saying she dumped him over the phone because she'd caught feelings for someone else. He told the press, "She handed it to me. I was in my hotel room on tour, and she called me and was like, 'Hey, I don't want to be in this relationship no more.' I'm like, 'It's somebody else.' That was my first love and my first heartbreak." He even admitted that losing her left him in a haze, just going through the motions for months. Sounds heartbreaking, right? But then Erykah came through with her own truth, hinting that there was more to the story, including possible infidelity on his part. She told an interviewer, "No, infidelity is not a deal breaker for me. We are all born sexual beings. I myself am not someone with a very high libido. I don't require intimacy for happiness. I need companionship. I need a partner I can depend on, that I can love and grow with. But I do understand the nature of these men I have been with. And men in general, they have a need to chase." Now, she didn't name names, but the timing in her comments had fans connecting dots. The narrative flipped. Maybe it wasn't just her catching feelings for someone else. Maybe Common's own wandering eye played a bigger role than he ever admitted. And if that's true, then spinning the breakup as her fault? That's next-level manipulation. And this isn't a one-off. By the time he split from Angela Rye years later, Common suddenly started talking about going to therapy, doing the work, and being ready to show up as a better partner.
A rather famous relationship coach.
Oh yeah, yes, Michelle Obama, she has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationships. We had conversations, and she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in choosing that partner. But as long as the core values, the values that are most important to you, that person, you know, marks off on that list, then you good.
She gave you some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
It's clear now, if therapy was supposed to change Common's ways, it didn't stick, because judging by what went down with J. Hud, the patterns are still there. The man was on talk shows smiling ear to ear, telling everyone she was the one, dropping marriage hints, all while supposedly moving shady in the background. And that stings even more when you remember everything Jennifer Hudson had already faced in her love life. She had been through storms before, and she didn't deserve even a trace of this kind of drama. People still remember her relationship with wrestler David Otunga, the picture-perfect engagement in 2008, the shared dreams of family, and the hope for a lifetime together. Then came a devastating family tragedy that shook her entire world. Just weeks after that engagement, Jennifer faced the unimaginable loss of her mother, brother, and nephew. Through that heartbreak, David stepped up, staying close and planning getaways just to help her find moments of peace. By 2009, hope came back into her life when she gave birth to their son, David Jr. For a while, it felt like their little family had found its rhythm again. But as the years passed and the wedding never happened, questions started piling up. In 2010, people expected them to walk down the aisle, but plans kept getting pushed back. Eventually, there was no wedding at all, and the split that followed was far from smooth. Jennifer claimed things had turned tense, accusing David of becoming controlling, making threats, and creating an environment that made her feel unsafe. She said it got so serious that one day she alerted security in case he tried to show up at her studio. And when he didn't, she thought the worst was over. But later that same day, she claimed he was waiting at home. According to Jennifer, he confronted her, took their son upstairs, and shut the door, leaving her outside the room. Those accusations marked the end of any chance of reconciliation. So, was Common really a step up, or was Jennifer just stepping into another cycle? Because, if you look at his history, the pattern's hard to miss. She might just be the latest name on a long list of women left behind, and if things play out like before, it's only a matter of time before he quietly starts showing off someone new. And you already know Tiffany Haddish is somewhere watching this unfold like it's her favorite show. She didn't just throw shade, she lit up the scoreboard and made sure everybody saw it. Now Jennifer's name is caught up in the headlines. Common's acting like this new flame is nothing out of the ordinary. And Tiffany is making sure the whole internet gets a front row seat to the drama. So the question is, wait, was this just Tiffany being playful? Or did she just rip open wounds Jennifer's still trying to heal? One thing's for sure. This story is nowhere near over. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think Common is just unlucky in love, or is he the one creating the chaos? Hit that like button if you're following the saga, subscribe so you don't miss the next twist, and turn on notifications so you, my stars and hushers, are always first in line when the next bomb drops. See you on the next one.